Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and we love to help the well-dressed take care of the wardrobes. I'm here today with Jim McFarland, the cobbler in charge of our Kirby Allison shoe refurbishment and restoration program. And the topic of today's Q&A is going to be shoe repair, shoe restoration, and shoe refurbishment. Thank you for all your comments and questions that you guys have posted on our YouTube channel. After reading them all and answering as many as possible, I've selected 5 that we're going to include in today's Q&A video. Each of these individuals I have selected will receive a complimentary pair of our Sovereign Grade shoelaces as a token of our appreciation for their participation in our channel. In today's Q&A video, we're going to be answering your questions about our shoe restoration and refurbishment program. Remember, if you have any questions or comments while you're watching one of our videos, please ask them in the comments section. I try to get back to as many of these questions as possible. Okay, our first question today is from Ryan Cook, and it reads, I have a couple of questions. Are there any shoe restrictions? Like, would you resole Allen Edmonds as well as Johnson & Murphy? Is it for Goodyear welted shoes only, or do you accept Blake stitch as well?
Yeah, we'll do all of those, no problem. As long as the shoe is a well-constructed, good leather shoe, and we're not going to have any problems resoling those.
Yeah. You know, in our Kirby Allison shoe recrafting refurbishment program, you know, we can really take any shoe and not just resole it and repair it, but really elevate it to a quality level better than what most shoes are received out of the box. So one of the things that's exciting to me is to take a pair of Allen Edmonds like these Fifth Avenues that we filmed in today's video, and to really elevate those beyond how they're received new. The JR Oak Bark Tanned leather outsole, the Triumph toe plates, the brass nail tacking in the heels, you know, that Saphir shoe shine, those Wellington shoelaces, you know, all those are such quality components that it really elevates the shoe beyond how that shoe is even received new.
Since I've been doing this my whole life, we've always been taught to bring that shoe back to the original factory condition, but we never looked at improving the quality of the shoe as far as the extra brass nails, the Triumph toe plates. Mm-hmm. You know, we've just always upgraded the leather sole, but now we're adding so much more to it. Yeah. The polish, the high quality polish that goes into the shoe, and the mirror shines on the toes. You know, I'll be honest, we've won a lot of awards, but at the level we're doing these shoes now, I feel like I'm just beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exciting, and you know, I'm really looking forward to the growth of this program. And one of the things that's important to understand is that, you know, yes, you know, we do focus a lot on Goodyear welted shoes. We've had some incredible Italian Blake stitch shoes that have come through that we're able to do just as good of a job. We can put toe plates on them. We can do that invisible blind channel stitching. We can do the brass tacking. So it's not just limited to Goodyear. Blake stitch shoes we can take care of also.
Yeah, no, we can do it. If it's a nice leather sole and you paid a lot of money for it, it's very rare we can't do something with it. Now, sometimes on a Blake sole shoe, if it's a very thin sole, we might be limited on the toe plates, but you know, that most of the time not.
No. Our second question today is from Peter Long, and it reads, brands offer to recraft their shoes using the original last. What are your thoughts on this? Compared to sending them to the original factory for service, how does our Kirby Allison shoe restoration refurbishment program match up?
Well, relasting it's almost like the shoe tree that fits in your shoe perfectly. They take the exact last they made this shoe on, they put it in there, and put it back into its original size and shape, right. When you go to a good craftsman and you're going to have your shoes resoled somewhere else, a good craftsman, we don't need a last. There's some positives with it, but for me there's some negatives. There's a lot of people that have come in my store that have sent them back to a factory for a resole, and they come back, they're too tight. And we've seen that a lot. And what we do is when we get a shoe in, especially if it has a leather insole, they have formed that shoe to their foot. You can look inside the shoe and look at the insole, and you can see the whole impression of their metatarsals, their toes, everything in there. And so if you put that last in there, completely re-welt that shoe every time, because sometimes they re-welt the shoe if it needs it or not, and you can make it tighter that way as well. And if you don't put the cork in right, now you've changed the whole feel of that shoe. So when they get it back, it's going to be either too tight, usually it's too tight. they have to really re-break that shoe in all over again. And with our program, we're able to retain the shape of the shoe and the footbed where you've put your impression in, and we're putting that new sole on. So when you get that shoe back, it's going to feel just as comfortable, just like when you took it off and sent it in.
Yeah.
I've resoled mine. I have my favorite pair. I've resoled, I don't know how many times. I don't touch anything on that inside. I get that new sole on, put them back on, and man, they're just my favorites.
If you send your shoe back to the factory, you're going to get those original factory components at whatever quality they're doing, and they're certainly not going to put any time into the polishing and the finishing of the shoe like we do in our Kirby Allison program. But if you send it to us, not only do you get the highest quality components such as the JR oak bark tanned leather outsoles, the Lulu or the Triumph toe plates, that brass tacking pattern on the heels, that extensive sapphire shoe shine or that mirror shine in the toes. But more than any of that, you're getting back, your favorite pair of shoes that are gonna fit and feel just as comfortable as whenever you sent them in. You're not gonna have to re-break those shoes in. And that's an important component.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I've resold my favorite pair about 3 times now, and it's the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. Some people wear sneakers, places where, when I'm going through the airport, I love wearing these shoes because they're just so comfortable. Yeah. They feel better than a sneaker.
Yeah, and of course, we should also say that any pair of shoes that comes through our program is going to be exclusively recrafted by you, Jim. 3rd generation cobbler, 17-time award-winning cobbler, or the care experience that you're able to bring to our Kirby Allison program. It's just night and day above anything you're going to find at a factory.
Well, it's definitely going to be a different experience.
Yeah. Our third question today is from IANMEDIUM, and it reads, one question I have, if you could ask please, is if the shoe is being refurbished, can I have a different sole than the one the shoe originally came with? For instance, can I swap a leather outsole for a day-night or vice versa? I've always wondered this. I know cobblers do it, but knowing a fine pair of shoes is balanced to the sole material, I wonder if it's a good idea to change the sole material from, say, leather to rubber.
Well, you're going to get a whole different feel. The shoe's going to feel totally different. Now, if they're used to wearing that type of sole on a different shoe, and it's a similar looking shoe, then it's not going to bother them. It's not going to feel any different. But if they've never worn a sole like that, you're going to have a few things. You're going to have something that's going to be a little heavier. You're going to have something that's going to be a little warmer, because leather breathes, rubber don't.
Now, one of the things that, again, whenever we were in Germany touring the J.R. Rindenbach factory, again, Hans just kept on, really speaking about was about how, most people that resole a leather shoe with a rubber sole are doing it for that increased durability and water resistance. But the quality of the JR oak bark tanned leather outsoles is so high that really, you can't compare it to an ordinary leather outsole. I mean, the experience is night and day. And so you may have been dissatisfied with your leather outsole, it wore out too quickly, or absorbed too much water whenever there was a little bit of rain outside. But that is not something that you're going to get with their JR outsoles just because it's such high quality.
Yes, it is. And let me tell you something about this company and Hans Rindenbach. He guarantees every single sole if there's ever a problem. And that's just something you don't find in a leather tanner.
So another question, Jim, is if someone has a shoe with a rubber sole, can that be resoled with our JR Rindenbach outsole?
In a lot of cases, yes. It's something we would actually have to look at by maybe sending some pictures in, something like that. Because a lot of rubber soles these days are molded onto the shoe. And you really can't take it apart and put a leather sole on, like if it's a Goodyear welted shoe, for instance, where some of these rubber soles are cupped and pressed together. No, it's not an option on some shoes. Yeah. So just send some pictures in.
Yeah, and that's one of the other reasons that I always say, if you're going to really buy a high-quality pair of leather dress shoes, spend the extra money, get something that's Goodyear welted, that has a proper leather outsole, because you know that whenever those soles wear out, you can send them in to our program, be resold, and end up with a new pair of shoes.
Yes.
So our fourth question today is from Ivan Tan, and it reads, is the resoling available to make a fiddleback waist? Something like you'd get with, say, maybe a pair of Gation on girls.
Right. Yeah, and it's possible. We do it. We wet them, put them down, and yeah, we've done a few of those lately. So yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah.
And how is that shaping done? Are you actually, are you carving the
It
outsole?
depends. Yeah, sometimes we have to take some out from underneath. Mm-hmm. We don't do it on top.
Yeah.
You got to remember the top 2 millimeters of that sole is the best wearing part, so you never want to take anything off the top. Some places bottom sand their shoes too much and they take a lot of the wear off, but on that, yeah, it's not a problem.
So, you know, and on all the shoes that go through our program, Jim, there's an additional level of hand trimming that goes into actually shaping the lines of the outsole.
Yeah, that's where I'm real old school on that. There's a lot of machines where you can cut everything off and go straight to the next step, but I like to feel the edges, and I take my knife and I like to trim it just a little bit closer, get everything nice and tight.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just, again, one of those kind of small details of our program that really just takes shoes to the next level.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Our next question is from FREDERICK CALABRESE, and it reads, is this available for Western boots? Unfortunately, Frank, at this moment, we're not doing Western boots because we're really focusing on dress shoes and dress boots, but stay tuned, that could be something that does come soon. And our last question today is from Jay Bodie. And it reads, this is perfect. Just when I think you've done well already, you surprised me with something even more. Thank you, Jay. But I do have one question, Kirby. Is this service available to Canadians as well? And the short answer is yes, absolutely. You know, if someone's willing to pay for shipping, you can absolutely send the shoes in to us from anywhere around the world, and we're happy to work on those. Of course, it's great to be able to offer the Kirby Allison kind of shoe restoration refurbishment program directly to our customers, where we really can take it, you know, that extra mile, you know, the Lulu, the triumph toe plate, you know, some of the customized nailing patterns, you know, the invisible channel stitching. You know, those are characteristics that, you know, you're only going to be able to find with us. Once again, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for their comments and questions. It's your engagement on our YouTube channel that make these Q&A videos possible. Not only do these Q&As give me an opportunity to answer in greater depth a lot of the questions that I'm already answering, but they allow me to take a moment to acknowledge my appreciation for everyone's involvement in this channel. I absolutely enjoyed this platform and how it's allowed me to connect more directly with you, and I really have fun interacting with you and answering your questions. If you haven't taken an opportunity to ask questions or make a comment, I invite you to do so. Even if you don't have any questions to ask, just sharing your opinion or your thoughts about our content help us make better videos for you in the future. I read all those questions and comments personally and really do enjoy getting back to as many of them as I possibly can. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell to the right of the subscribe button so that you can learn whenever we release new videos. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed on this video, please ask them in the comments section below. And of course, please visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest, most comprehensive collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world, as well as many other incredible products for the well-dressed. And while you are there, subscribe to our newsletter to receive notifications of new product launches, promotions, as well as a weekly digest of all the videos we publish here on our YouTube channel. I'm Kirby Allison, and this is Jim McFarland. Thanks for joining us.